Hi. How are you doing today? It's quite a cold morning here, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you back to the Two Wheels Paradise. My name is Meshach Samson Maina, an adventure biker. Here we are. We do motorcycle content, and we are trying so hard to educate you and everybody else who is watching on the best way to be a biker, the best and the safest way to survive on motorcycles. Which types of bikes to buy, for what purpose, how to service your bike, how to maintain your bike, some safety training, a lot of stuff to do with becoming a safe motorcyclist. How are you doing today? Let's get down to business. But before, have you subscribed to the channel? Do me a favor. Do not go beyond this point before you subscribe. It's a gift you're giving to me and also to yourself, because every time we upload a video, you will get a notification that something nice about motorcycling has just landed on your most favorite YouTube channel. Let's get down to business. Today, we have a topic about pre-ride checks. Pre-ride checks. What are you supposed to check on your motorcycle before you set out for a ride? Most of the times we find ourselves in a hurry. You want to go somewhere, you want to meet someone, maybe you're going to work, just something that is pushing you to be in a hurry. You take your bike and you just hit the road. Sometimes you get into accidents that you cannot even explain. Yeah? Sometimes you get into situations you can't even explain. Some of the reasons you get into these freaky situations is because you do not check your motorcycle properly before you ride. Some of these things that we encounter on the road can be avoided if only you take 2 minutes before every ride. 2 minutes to just check the condition of your motorcycle. What is this that Meshach is talking about? Someone is going to ask, why do I need to check my bike? It's my bike. I've been riding it for a while. I know what I did last time when I was servicing it. ABCD, just to console yourself. But the truth is, you need to check your motorcycle before you ride. This is where the trick is. Like where I am right now, doing this video, it's a cold morning, and it has been cold throughout the night. And I have my bike here. The last time I was on this bike was yesterday, and I parked it. For like 10 hours the bike has been off. That means in the morning the engine is quite cold. Quite cold. So you don't just sit on your bike and start moving. You have to give it time to warm. Good manners in motorcycling or even driving a vehicle should tell you that you don't just sit on it and start moving. You give it time to actually warm up. Just 2-3 minutes of idling, it will warm up. When it is warming up, you're not just seated there or just standing next to it waiting for it to warm. You must be warming up yourself psychologically for the ride. And part of warming up your psychology is getting the peace of mind from the confirmation that the bike is in good condition for the road. This is what you check. Get a pen and a paper. I have a list of things you need to check every day, especially every morning before you get out to go for a ride. Number 1 is engine oil. Motorcycle engines and even vehicle engines have a behavior of burning oil that comes because of maybe poor quality oil, bad riding habits. Maybe you are riding on high RPMs for a long time. You see, some riding behaviors and some mechanics make it like vulnerable to burning oil, especially riding your bike on high RPMs for long distance. Some engines will burn oil, not all of them. I don't want you to start questioning me about how I have confirmed this. I am riding a 1999 Honda Transap, and I know, especially the bikes from the 2000s, 90s, down there, coming all the way to 2007, around there, some of them burn oil. Something else that makes engine burn oil is when your piston rings, your valve seal are getting worn out. These are things you cannot just visually check. You cannot tell my rings are getting bad just by checking the engine. You can't see the rings. They are somewhere inside. What can tell you there is something wrong is the quality and quantity of engine oil. Quality and quantity of engine oil. You can confirm from there. So every morning, just check the level of your oil. You don't want surprises that you're riding somewhere and then there is a bell ringing underneath and then you can't really tell what's going on. Only to realize my crankshaft is dying, my rings are already dead, my piston is strapping, the sidewalls of the cylinders. You don't want those surprises. These are things you can avoid by checking your engine oil regularly, and if possible, every morning. Something else. If you are riding a bike like this one that has a radiator, the water-cooled bikes, liquid-cooled bikes, be very sure to check the level of liquid in that radiator. Whether you are using tap water, whether you are using coolant, whatever you use as your cooling liquid, make sure it is enough in quantity. Just open up the cork, just check on what is going on, turn on the engine, see if the liquid is somehow moving. You can tell the pump is actually working. Some few things that you can check and prevent a lot of damages. You don't want to be pulled by someone to the garage or home or get a pickup just because you failed to check your radiator. These things are mechanical, they fail. Human made, yeah, they fail. Something else you need to check. We are now on number 3, your indicators. Let me tell you something. What has killed many people in the Boda Boda community is lack of properly working indicators. So many people are in the graves right now because of something as small as indicators. Your indicators should and must be working at all times. And not only working properly. You don't want to have a situation where you have a short circuit somewhere in the wiring harness, that when you indicate left, the front one is indicating right, the back one is indicating left. You don't want those situations. All sabotage. You went to the garage, servicing your bike or doing something. Then somebody maliciously came and interchanged the sockets. I have seen it happening. Someone just comes and interchanges the sockets. You will be indicating the whole month. You just think, yeah, my indicators are working, just because your dashboard is telling you that your indicators are working. Only to realize they have not been working properly. They are working but not properly. Check your indicators. It will only take you 3 seconds to confirm that both indicators, front and back, are working. Just 3 seconds. You cannot lose anything by checking the indicators. But not checking the indicators, you stand to lose a lot. You can lose a rim, you can lose your bike, you can lose your life. Just because your indicators indicated wrongly. Some driver is behind you, they are in a hurry just to move. Then you have indicated left, you want to go left, your indicators are indicating right. You don't want those mistakes to happen. So take a minute and check your indicators. Something else that you need to check, your brake lights. That is number 4. Your brake lights. Brake lights must work. For whatever reason, they must work. If they don't, you're just giving yourself away for death. You can imagine you have spotted a bump or something that requires someone to slow down. And then your brake light is not working. You are so hard on the brakes, you want to slow down, but brake light is not working. Then there is a driver behind you who is on phone. They are on phone, or they are just here, the way our Uber drivers do. 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second. If you do not tell them through some red light that I am slowing down, this person is going to kill you. They're going to hit you from behind. You know what is going to follow after that. So your brake lights must work. It is not about fashion. It is not about the type of bike you ride. Any bike you ride, make sure your brake lights are working and working properly. Forget about this blinking red, sometimes static, sometimes blinking. A lot of nonsense that doesn't make any sense. How do you want me to understand when your brake light is blinking, when it is static, when it is dim, when it is bright, when it is... How do you want me to understand? You have not written a manual behind you that when it is blinking, I am stepping on the brakes. It doesn't make any sense. Just get safe brake lights. Manufacturers have never produced bikes or vehicles with blinking brake lights. All these shenanigans are aftermarket. Get proper brake lights. If only you value your life, get proper brake lights. Something that I have seen people doing is tinting the tail lights. Your brake lights are black, indicators black. How do you expect me to know that you're braking when I am behind you and your tail light is black? How do you expect me to understand? That nonsense, just forget about it. Number 5 now, let's talk about tail lights, the parking light. When you turn on your bike, there is need for some parking light within the brake light. Some red which is dim has to be on. Just make sure it is on. This is the reason. Imagine you are riding at night and you don't have anything at the back there. No reflection, no light, nothing. What do you expect? Many times we find cases of border community, people are getting run over by vehicles at night, hit and run. Some drivers are not careless. They only find themselves in the wrong place, wrong time. There is someone with a motorcycle and they are in the darkness. They don't have a helmet that reflects anything. They don't have a reflector jacket. They don't have anything that reflects. The number plate is maybe fixed at the side, or it's not even there, or it is so old it can't even reflect anything. So someone is in the dark and they are also looking black. What do you expect? What do you expect? Some of these things are not fashion. That you go and buy a bike that looks sport. Let's talk about Charisma ZMR, let's talk about Jingsheng, talk about Dayun, talk about Taro GP. Let's talk about those bikes that look sport bike. Then the first thing you do is to run to the garage. Straight away, run to the garage. Cut off the tail. Cut off the tail. The manufacturer of this bike was very sober, not drunk, not mad, when they put that thing over there. Some reflector, there is some reflector, some plastic or some metal stuff or something that reflects. And then there is tail light, and then there is a metal or plastic stuff to hold the number plate. The number plate in this country, by law, has to be at the back. One, because you are supposed to be known. Who is this? This is KMCC, this is KBF, this is KDD. Someone has to tell, this vehicle in front of me has this number plate. The registration number is this. That number plate is yellow, and not only yellow, it is reflective yellow. If you go to the NTSA system, they call it reflective number plate. That's what they call it, reflective number plate. It's not only number plate, it is reflective number plate. Because when you just light up something behind it, it has to give out some light. It has to reflect. To tell that there is someone in front of you. Not only about identity, but reflection too. So before you remove that number plate, think about what you're doing. You have removed number plate, removed reflectors, removed tail light. Now you are putting some button stuff like that, this size, that keep bring. What do you expect? Make sure your tail light is working. Make sure your tail light is working. Have we left something? Yes. The last thing that you're supposed to check first is, and this one should be given some time, is your tire pressure and the condition of your tires. Within 3 minutes when the bike is warming, you can check the tail light indicators, check oil, you check oil before you land the engine. Don't get me wrong. Check the oil before you land the engine. And then when the oil is okay, you tighten it up, land the engine. Everything else you can check when the engine is warming up. You can check. Because it's about the radiator, there is a reservoir. You can just check the level of liquid in the reservoir, it will tell you the radiator has something. You can go ahead and open the cork, check inside manually, fine. If you don't want to do that, just hope that your reservoir system is working. Some few things here and there. Let's talk about tire pressure. Tire pressure, especially for us who park bikes on pavements, paved surface, the code from the floor sometimes reduces the tire pressure. Because you know when air is warmed up, it expands. This is something we learned in physics in high school. When air is warmed up, it expands. When it is cold, it shrinks. Very basic. So now you have parked your bike for 2 days on a pavement that is so cold, maybe tiles, something. You can expect that your tire pressure is going down. This is the reason why you find if vehicles are parked on paved surface for long without moving, they go flat. I want you to go and find out why. They go flat. Most of the vehicles that are parked for long, all of them go flat. All the wheels flat if you park them on a paved surface. So now when you park your bike on a pavement, some floor that is paved, some concrete, you can expect something is going to happen. Maybe not so much, but it can. Again, after usage, tire pressure goes down because of environmental issues. Maybe you have a slow leakage, that micromillimeter hole. You never know. Just check the tires. Maybe there is something that you stepped on at night when you're going back home and your tire got an injury. Just have a look at it. Physical check. For us who have spoke wheels, the ADV bikes that have wires, the rims have spokes. You can just check and see if one of them is loose or something, maybe broken, one is missing or something. Just have a look at what is going on. Just have a look. My name is Meshach Samson Maina. Have I taught you something? Talk to me in the comments and please remember to subscribe. We do this and so much more on this channel. It is a new channel and I intend to make it grow to something very, very exciting. And I can only do that with your support. God bless you and keep you, and remember, your safety is not determined by how other people behave around you. It is determined by how you behave in response to what they do. So always be sober, always try to be safe. See you around, see you next time. Two Wheels Paradise. My name is Meshach.